Hi, I'm Mr. Cheng from the English department, and today I'm going to go over the answer for the proofreading exercise 2006. As always, before we go over the answers, I would like you to take out a red pen to write down the answers and also make any notes for the explanation notes that I will go over in the lesson. Now, let's begin with question number 15. Yesterday, 22 Pakistani boys who had taken to the United Arab Emirates, UAE. Now, as you can see in the title, Pakistani boys abducted. Abducted in Chinese means 被綁架,被挾持, okay? So, they had taken is wrong because佢哋係俾人擄走啊嘛，佢哋唔係擄走人哋啊嘛。So you should use passive voice. Now in passive voice, we need to turn this part into passive voice. Alright? The easiest way is to just add the be. Okay? You also need to consider the tense. This is past perfect. So you say had been taken. Okay? Next one. Pakistani boys who have been taken to the UAE to So here, it should be to infinitive. So work. Okay? So the boys were taken to UAE to work as camel jockeys. Okay? This is to infinitive. Just like I went to the UK to study. You don't say I went to the UK to studying. Okay? After the to infinitive, you also use another to infinitive. Do you know what I mean? Maybe I type it out, it's better. Okay? I went to the UK to study. Okay? 52. The boys aged between 3 and 15 fly home from Dubai. So this is a very simple tense error. Fly is flew. Now quiz time. What is the PP of fly? Do you know? Should be flown. Okay? Hope you remember. 53. Officials had found in the UAE. So, had found what? Had found them. Dressed in dirty clothes. Okay, now this one. This is called a past participle. Past participle phrase. So you can see it as they were dressed. Okay, so that's why this is actually correct, because they were dressed, not they were dressing. This we already explained a few weeks ago, so not gonna go over it here. Dressed in dirty clothes. They were too shy. Say. So missing the word to. This sentence structure. To adjective to infinitive. This is very useful. I am too tired to study. I am too excited to sleep. I am too afraid to try. I am too clever to fall into the trap. Okay, this sentence structure is very useful. Example A, B, and C, let's go over them too. Authorities in Pakistan were yesterday trying to find their parents. Now, how can you identify this? Authority in Pakistan. This is the subject, right? This is the verb. Authorities in Pakistan were yesterday tried. Were is a main verb. Try is a main verb. So something must be wrong. So because you can kind of guess that, trying to find the parents is a lengthy process. You cannot do it in a short go. So probably it's past continuous tense. That's why you change it to ing. Okay. Probably is a good time to do recap here. Usually, if you see the verb to be afterwards, it can be ing. They were trying. Can be past participle. Tried. Okay, you can say they were. Authorities in Pakistan were yesterday tried. Okay, tried has another meaning. Tried means 被審判. So this is perfectly okay if the meaning does not contradict. I mean, authorities in Pakistan were tried. This is actually an acceptable usage because you can use it in passive voice. Okay, and of course, adjective. For example, angry. Authorities in Pakistan were angry. Also okay. So you see, you won't have two main verbs in a sentence. Okay. Every year, South Asian boys, mostly from Pakistan, illegally taken. Here, the main verb. Oh, actually, this is exactly what I mean. Taken. This is PP. Right? So, exactly this case. This is passive constructions. 被動式啊 okay? To the Gulf to take part in a sport. They are used as riders. They are light. 佢哋咧就係用嚟騎嗰啲camel 駱駝 ，OK？ 佢哋用嚟騎駱駝，因為佢哋好輕。So there's a cause result relationship 有個因果關係。Therefore, something is missing here. You need a connective which means a cause relationship. So you can use cause, you can say since, you can say as, you can even say for, if you know how to use for properly. Now, since we've mentioned for quite a while, probably it's a good idea for me to kind of explain how it's used for. How to use How to use for. Okay? For is always used in the second clause. Okay? For example, he is bullied for he is short. 佢俾人欺凌，因為佢好矮。Since I didn't finish my homework, I was punished. You can change it to I was punished for I didn't finish my homework. Okay, so remember always put it in the second clause. And compare this to since. And for is a high-level connectives. If you know how to use it properly, then probably you'll get quite a high mark in writing. Alright, let's continue. They are used as riders because they are light, but they can be injured. Injured is an adjective. What modifies an adjective? An adverb modifies an adjective. So, seriously. Example C. Human rights groups say the boys are being kept. Now, this is again passive construction. Right? This is passive voice. They are being kept. That means someone is keeping them. Okay? So at this point, if you're still not sure how to use passive voice, please go to any grammar book and take a look. Okay, pay a visit to how the passive voice is constructed, how it's used. 57. They are given very little food to keep them heavy so that the camels can run fast. Now, there's a meaning problem here. If the boys are heavy, how can a camel run fast? So it's a meaning problem. So let's change it to opposite meaning, light. 58. The child raced at speeds of up to 30 mph, miles per hour. Now, this is the main verb. Alright? It doesn't have a singular s, third person s. That means something must be wrong here. It doesn't match. Either you say the child races, or you say the children race. Okay? So here, I would change it to children, or to be more accurate, actually the children don't run, the camels run. 個駱駝跑啊嘛，唔係啲小朋友跑嘛，小朋友騎佢哋啫嘛。Okay, make the changes. This is a subject-verb agreement error. Alright, very tricky, but you need to check them all the time. 59, a government official, don't know how to read his name. Okay, I'm not Pakistani. Said that the boys which arrived back yesterday. Relative pronoun error, should not be which, should be who. Right? Let's revise again. Okay, we talked about it last week already, but how relative pronouns. So we have who or whom. I already covered the differences between them last week also. Person, where, a place, but followed by subject and verb. Which, to refer to a item or an idea. You also have when, refer to time. And of course, you have all sorts of like in which, by which, these, okay. Too much to go over, but you should have learned it in junior form anyway. Would be kept in a protection center in this place in the moment. Now, here it should be at the moment. Why at the moment? Actually, last week we covered some of the expressions of mentioning time. I don't know if you still remember, okay? You say in the past, you say at present. Now you learn that you also say at the moment. And then in the future. Okay? It would be very embarrassing. Oh. It would be very embarrassing if you make this kind of silly mistake, okay? At present, at the moment. This is a very basic level error. You should not make this kind of mistake. Alright, at the moment, we not know anything. So, obviously, okay, this is just a negative formation of the present tense. You know, we know, it should be we do not know, or we did not know, but, you know, it's present tense, so we do not know. 62. We will try best to find them. It should be try our best to find them. Try who's best. Alright? This is a fixed expression. Try somebody's best. That means 盡全力 in Chinese, you know, always in, you know, sports days, the cheering team would chant something like, you know, try your best, be the best, something like that. Alright, so try your best, not try best, try who's best, I mean. Example D, A local government official promised to help the boys and give them a free education. This is a run-on sentence that I have mentioned before. Help the boys, give them a free education. Actually, there are two main verbs in this clause. Do you know what I mean? So you should use a conjunction. Okay, this is a coordinating conjunction. So while we are here, maybe I explain a little bit what is coordinating conjunction, what is subordinating conjunction. Coordinating conjunction are used when they are used to connect two separate sentences. They can exist separately. That's fine. Okay. So common examples and or but you know, for the one that we've mentioned, for you know, yet, something like that, right? Anyway, you can probably separate the two sentences together and they can still be grammatically correct. Like, I like cats and I like dogs. You can say I like cats, full stop. I like dogs, full stop. That's okay. Subordinating conjunctions are words such as, since, as, because, since, as, because, although, however. Let's not give however as an example. Those are tricky, okay? The difference is that the subordinating conjunction cannot stand alone. For example, this is wrong. This is wrong. You need the second part. However, for the above, you can say, I am young and I am handsome. You can say, I am young. I am handsome. Totally fine. But you cannot say, since I was young, full stop. Although he is handsome. This is wrong. Okay? 63. He said that more than 1,700 Pakistani boys currently working. Okay, remember what I said. In a that clause, you need to have a subject and a verb. Alright, so you learned this before. In a that clause, you use that as subject and verb. Now, you have the subject. More than 1,700 Pakistani boys is the subject. This is the verb, right? Currently working. But as we have mentioned, working is not a main verb. Usually, you need to say like be plus working. Then this will be a main verb. Usually working alone does not stand alone. Okay? Now, therefore, in this case, you should really think about what verbs to fill in. He said that more than 1,700 Pakistani boys are currently working as camel riders. Okay? Because currently, that means now, you should use are. More than 17 Pakistani boys are currently working as camel riders in different parts of the Middle East. Now, here, parts is a noun, right? Just a second. Okay, part is a noun. What can modify a noun? An adjective can modify a noun, right? So, what is the adjective of differences? It should be difference. Okay? Alright, so I think that's all. Let's recap. Oops. Let's take a look at what we've learned today. Alright? Today, we actually took a look at some verb forms. Okay? We took a look at how the word been and being are used. We learned that the verb to be is only usually used in three cases. First is trying. That is the present continuous tense. Or we use it with past participle. Try. Then in this case it would be passive voice. And lastly, we also use the word be with adjective, like he is angry, he is ugly, something like that. Okay? We learn some, we revise past participle phrase, how it's used, how it's used. We learn a sentence structure to adjective to do. We revise passive construction. We learn how to use the coordinating conjunction for in a sentence to show 因果關係 cause result relationship. We revise relative clause again. We also come across some phrases that you can use to talk about some time. Okay, lastly, we went over coordinating conjunction and some subordinating conjunction. So if you really make good use of the notes that I've given you, I think that not only does it improve your ability in writing grammatically correct sentences, you can also vary your sentence structure. Think about all the sentence structures that I've mentioned in the proofreading exercises. I really hope that you can memorize them and use them in your conversation if you are always getting low mark in writing language component. And also some of the very common mistakes that I've mentioned in the exercise. For example, work class or there is the structure. Always students use there have. This kind of errors should really not be made anymore in senior form. That's very embarrassing, and that will really affect the marker's impression of you. Alright? Anyway, I hope you learned something in this video, and as always, if you have any questions about the answers, or if you think your answers can be accepted as alternative answers, feel free to ask your English teachers any questions at any time. Alright? Now, hopefully see you next time.